I'm Ryan Malone, concert manager for Armstrong Auditorium and host of the music appreciation program, Music for Life. And what we're doing today is we're back in the studio here for another Music for Life interview. We have a show about the piano, and we're going to talk about the power of the piano with our guest, but also we wanted to let our social media network in on this interview as well as sort of a teaser for tonight's concert with the Polish Baltic Philharmonic. So I'm here with pianist Marcin Koziak, and we're going to talk about his piano career. So Marcin, could you start by telling us how old you were when you started playing the piano?
I was 5, and I don't remember really the first lessons with my first teacher, Professor Zofia Wikierek. But yeah, it was an adventure. My parents, both pianists, both piano teachers, so they introduced me to the professor, and it was obvious that I will try to start. But then, of course, life goes, and you have to choose. But firstly, it was natural.
Okay, so both your parents were pianists,
Mm-hmm.
but neither one of them was your teacher.
No.
They secured you another teacher.
Yes.
So there was a nice piano in your home, and you. So it was
3 of them.
Oh, 3 of them. And so it was their idea that you start playing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When you're 5 years old, you don't have your free will to choose how your life is going, really.
Right. And how did you feel about the piano when you first started playing? Because they played, or just from your initial contact with it?
It's as I said, it was quite natural for me. It was something, I know some people are playing soccer in America. Some people are playing football in the US, but I was playing piano, that's it. But as I said, beginning is as usually. Sometimes you have to push a little bit your child to work, because not everybody is working, super hardly from the beginning. But then when I was teenager, I chose by myself, to continue.
Right, so it became your passion around then.
Yeah.
And so maybe you could talk about your practice routine since it became a passion, ever since you've been doing very well, obviously, in competitions and with recordings. What is your practice routine like?
I don't like the word routine, okay?
Okay, great.
I even read few weeks ago an interview with Sergei Babayan, great pianist, great teacher, and he also said the same, that no, routine is not for us. If you're an artist, if you're a musician, you cannot get into the routine. So that's about the word routine.
Okay.
But of course I practice every day, so that's nearly what I try. It's if you want to play and perform as a soloist, so usually from memory, and if you really concentrate on it, and it's your job and passion at the same time, you have to do it every day. And so I try to practice in different ways. It's what's always in it. It should be I have to concentrate really, because then if you practice on your 150% of your level, then on a concert there is a chance that it will be 100%. If you're practicing on 50%, on a concert for sure will be 30%, and it's too little, for performing. So yeah, every day. But I try really. We try with my wife, not to. That's a bad thing. But we really try to not to practice on Sundays. But still, if you have concert after Sunday, you somehow you have to work on Sunday, and I don't like it. I have to say that. What's more, different ways of practicing. For example, I started last year to practice also from scores, no touching keyboard.
Okay. Just more mental practice.
Yes, also, but not only. Of course, you have to practice on the keyboard. Listening great pianists, that's very important thing. Broadening your horizons, not only I don't like to concentrate. I don't have my favorite composer. I have like really you have so many good piano literature, piano music in the world that you can really choose. This day Bach, second day Chopin, third day Beethoven. In the end of the week Debussy, and it's like really, really. We have Rubinstein said, I think that he will die peacefully knowing that he didn't play 100 great piano pieces. So that's true with our instruments. So for example, I try to warm up on different pieces. When I'm warming up, I read new piece. So that's after a few years you read quite a lot of pieces. That's a good thing.
And you talk about passion, for different composers and for the instrument itself. Obviously there's music that you want to communicate, but what makes the piano such a great vehicle for your artistic expression?
I don't know. That's quite difficult. I started to play the piano, and then I tried to develop in it and improve my skills and improve how I can communicate by it, how I can share with my sensitivity, thoughts, emotions with the people. But as I said, I began on it. I didn't get bored, or I didn't dislike it. Yeah, so I was it was like I was put to the situation I'm playing piano, but then I chose that I'm playing piano.
Right.
So I didn't change it, but I cannot say that I chose piano because that's the best way of my communication with people. Okay, so it's like that, I think.
Okay. Well, I mean, some people have called the piano, because it has such a range of pitches and such tonal color variety, they call it the king of instruments. And so are you in of that opinion that the piano has a certain advantage over other instruments because you play the piano?
See, I heard violinists who are saying that the violin is the king of instruments, and also some people are saying that the voice is the main, the king of instruments because it's natural. So, of course, as a pride pianist, I could say yes, my instrument is the best, but I don't know. I really heard great concerts on oboe. I heard great concerts on organ. So I don't know if in the end the most important is how the music is going through it, how the music is flowing from the person, from the artist to the public. And you can really play on sometimes one string Chinese traditional instrument, and it will be so captivating that of course it doesn't have 88 keys and it's not so great as piano, of course, but I wouldn't say it's the only great instrument to communicate with people, or the best or something. I'm pianist.
Right.
It's my favorite instrument, but it's like not that. No, I wouldn't say it's the only way or the only vehicle or the.
Right. Yeah, certainly every instrument has its special, its special things about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you had to pick something about the piano that sets it apart from other instruments, this is what makes it special. Is this?
For sure, a lot of plans, a lot of layers which I can paint by fingers. That's what I'm learning. So really, when I hear sometimes this 3D dimension, which I can do with 10 fingers, that's great. Really, you can play sometimes with 4 or 5 layers even, and you should learn this, and that's perfect because there are many instruments which have one line. Yeah. So that's one thing, and also the dimension of the dynamics from whispering to huge, large large sound is also, I think, one of great things about the piano. You can really play Debussy like a wind in the leaves, and you can play Rachmaninoff like something huge. Yeah, so maybe these things.
Right, that's great. You mentioned a few composers that obviously we don't pick one, but we say there's so many great composers that lend themselves to piano music. Tonight you're playing a Beethoven concerto that really shows off the advancing technology of the piano in Beethoven's day. Talk about the Emperor Piano Concerto, what you find specifically great about that piece that's going to be on the program tonight.
Oh, that's a very difficult question. You know, it's like before concerts, I analyze every piece, yeah, to know how to express what was the idea for the architectonic of the piece, and then to show it. If I don't analyze it, probably it will be like foggy. You will not understand what I'm saying, because I don't understand what I'm saying. But to say what's the most, the best in the piece, or the most beautiful, or what's the best element in the piece, that's tough. That's really difficult. How to say.
Or just something you find great about, not the most great thing, but just something that is special about this concerto.
It's wonderful, yeah. Really, it's difficult to say. I play Chopin concerto. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I play Rachmaninoff. It's completely different. It's beautiful. Beethoven is great. It's wonderful. I would try to say what's common, what's for everybody. What's the point which makes these great composers these pieces it makes great. But I cannot really say what's the best, what's the most important element for me for the Emperor Concerto. Is really, it's like discovering the nature of the person. We are talking now about Beethoven, so his power inside is of course in his concerto. Yeah, his really strong will, or also hope. These things are there in different balance in different pieces, and the same is with Emperor.
And you've recorded a lot of Chopin. How would you contrast, like what does Chopin offer that's both fulfilling as an artist for you, but also how does it contrast, say, the Beethoven?
For me, I'm Polish, so for me Chopin is a composer who really is somehow he made he put into his pieces the Polish soul, and even not normal Polish soul, but like perfect Polish soul. So it's like everybody from Poland feels Poland in his pieces, and not even only in polonaises or mazurkas, but really in concertos and nocturnes. You feel Polish air inside, yeah, Polish atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something special for sure for me, for Polish guy. But as Beethoven, for example, he's very honest. He's writing, he's creating. He was creating his art from heart, from the depth of his soul and heart, and that would be the same. They were different for sure as every person, but as we know, this very strong and maybe sometimes angry Beethoven, Chopin was also sometimes full of pain. Maybe it was different, because of different country, different situation, different political situation, different his life situation.
Right.
So you can really find all this in their pieces, even if it's not written by words. Yeah, if it's like more, you have more ways to interpret that because of that. Yeah. So about what's special in Chopin, I think I answered. To compare with Beethoven, our work as as pianists, as musicians, is also learn the details of style of each composer. So all differences between romantic classical style, all details which you have to interpret differently. Even in the score you see the same slur in Chopin's music or Beethoven. It's different, yeah.
Right.
Pedal is different. Colors are different. You have to, like, the structure is different, even if it looks similar. So these all things is my job, it's my work, yeah. You shouldn't be interested in it when you're listening to me. You should like only receive it and that's it. But my work is to work on detail. So this is different. But in the end, the performance and sharing with people, with goodness, beauty, love, it's with all composers. That's with all.
Well, we certainly are looking forward to seeing your performance tonight. Really thank you for joining me, Marcin.
Thank you.
And really looking forward to tonight.
Thanks,
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.